Hey, call me Shape. And today I'm reacting to a video titled, Black Men Only Wife Pretty Black Women Who Know This. Let's get right into it.
Without fail, every single day I get a question DM asking me, how do I marry someone rich? As someone with a ton of very successful guy friends, hedge fund, private equity, tech bro, whatever, this is what I'll tell you. Here's the real tea. They're not dating anybody who is asking people, how do I marry rich? Or people who are giving advice on the platform of how to date wealthy. You know who they're dating? They're dating their Harvard Business School classmate. They are dating the girl that they went to Jack and Jill with. They are dating the girl who lives in the house across the street from them in Martha's Vineyard. They are dating a friend of a friend who they met at a Super Bowl party. That is who they're dating and marrying. So please, ladies, I beg, hang it up. Hang the conversation up. Take all that energy and focus on becoming the best version of you, because when you do that, if it still matters to you when it's time for you to date and get married, you will actually be a contender for these people, and you will have the tools, the skills, the experiences to actually retain a partner like that. Babes, I promise you, life becomes so much better when you're the main character of your life. Without fail.
Okay, she has some good points here, so let's talk about rule number one, right? And this is a pretty black woman, and I agree with her. Put yourself in his environment. Put yourself in an environment with men. Use your network to actually find a husband, okay? And a lot of women are trying to find a husband online. They're trying to find him on a strip club. What about college, okay? Black women tend to go to college to prove they don't need a man or they don't need a husband. White women go to college to meet their husband. Very big difference, okay? And I think a lot of black women can learn from this. Anyway, we have some more videos that's helping black women learn how to find a husband by women who found a husband.
Biblical femininity is what allowed me to get a husband and keep him. I'm going to tell you how to do this. When I embraced biblical femininity, really everything changed. The way I approached my family, my relationships, my home became even more intentional. Honestly, being a godly woman is not about suppressing yourself. It's about embodying the roles that God has given us with grace and joy. What I want you to start doing is, number one, praying for your husband or your future husband. Ask God to prepare you to be the wife that he needs. Number two, I want you to serve with love. Most of this life is going to be about servitude, and I learned that far too late. We're not serving out of obligation, but out of the desire to reflect Christ's actions in ourselves and in others. Three, I want you to practice respect and encouragement. If you're married, build your husband up with your words. If you're not, practice this mindset with the people around you. So when you live these things out, you create a foundation for a lasting, godly marriage. Hi, I'm Allie. I help homemakers who work outside the home prioritize what matters.
Okay, so she's giving an advertisement for herself. If you guys want to follow her. But she has a good point. Life is about servitude. Too many women look for a husband so they can be served by a man. That's not how it works. If you want to be a wife is a helpmeet to her husband, okay? She helps her husband out. She completes him by serving him. I know a lot of women don't want to do this, and that's why you're not wives. You're not wives. Take it from a wife, and she said she learned it too late, okay? But we have more. Okay, so here's a white woman describing something very simply on how to find a husband.
How to find a husband. First things first. Number one, get fit. And I'm not saying look like a supermodel, but be in the best shape you possibly can be. Number two, empty out your baggage. A clean conscience is an open heart. Number three, be feminine. I know this may be hard, but you have to lean back and let the men approach you. And number four, stop going out and hoping you're going to find the love of your life at 3 a.m. You just won't. The husband you really want, sadly, is not there. You're welcome. How to find a husband.
It's funny that she said be fit. This is one of the most important things. So rule number 3, right? Be fit. Okay, the first rule, network, right? Meet your husband in college. Number 2, understand that life is about servitude. Number 3, be fit. Majority of black women in our community are overweight and out of shape, but they still want a man to take me as I am. We're not trying to take you as you are, okay? The reality of it is we want a competitive wife because we're competitive men. It's very simple, you know, and a lot of wives that I found are fit, feminine, friendly, and attractive. Go figure, right? Kevin Samuels was up to something and he knew it was the truth. Okay, here's another black woman talking about what to look for in a husband. I think this is a good idea.
All right, ladies, here are 5 traits that you are definitely going to want in your husband. Number 1, the ability to lead. You're going to want to be married to a man who knows how to make good decisions, how to act under pressure, and knows how to properly steer you and your children down the right path. If he's a true leader, he's also going to understand that he has a responsibility not just to himself, but to the people that he's leading. So he's going to be careful in his actions and his behaviors because he understands that his role is bigger than just him. Number 2, and I cannot emphasize this one enough, emotional intelligence. How well he communicates his thoughts and his feelings, how quickly he takes accountability for his actions, how natural it is for him to console you when you're hurt or upset. All of these are signs of his emotional intelligence, and it is so, so, so important. Number 3 is an oldie but goodie that I talk about all the time if you watch my videos: consistency. Consistency is very simple. You don't want a man who's disciplined and ambitious and goal-oriented one month and then the complete opposite of those things the next month. You want him to be consistent, not only as an individual, but consistent in how he is in the relationship. Number 4, stability. Are they financially stable? Do they have a stable personal life? How's their career? Do they have career goals and trajectories for their future? All of these are questions you need to be asking yourself. You may really like this person, but if you're serious about marriage and finding a husband, you need to ask yourself, what is your life really going to look like with this person? Are they going to bring you peace and prosperity, or are they going to add chaos to your life? And last but not least, number 5, integrity. One of the most important ones of all. You are going to want to be married to a man of integrity. I cannot stress that enough. A man who is trustworthy, a man who is dependable, a man who is a man of his word. There is nothing sexier than a man that does exactly what the hell he says he's going to do. Now remember,
Okay, here's an interesting thing. She has some good points here. The one point I really don't like what she said was finding a man who's stable. Ladies, if you meet a man in college, he's not going to be stable. He's going to be trying to work his way up. Stability is something that people think they deserve from the beginning. Listen, and if you want a stable man, he's going to be older. He's going to be in his 50s, okay? A lot of women are trying to find a man who's stable in his 20s and his 30s. Very hard to nearly impossible, especially if he's trying to become something in the entrepreneurship field. Yeah, if you get a job right out of college, you could be more stable because you have a job. So, yeah, you might reach a point where you're making a good income, but your income might be capped. Entrepreneurs have uncapped income, right? They're unlimited, but it takes a long time to build a business. You can't build a business overnight. So many women are looking for a man who is just financially there already. He's at the finish line. It's very rare you're going to meet a husband this way. I'm telling you, it's very rare, unless you date older. If you don't mind, if you're in your 20s, you don't mind dating a man in his 50s, and people make fun of y'all because y'all age gap, then fine. But very rarely you're going to meet a man who's in his 30s or even in his early 40s, and he's stable. They're going to be fluctuating through their money, but they might be heading towards the bag if they are entrepreneurial and they have integrity, like she's saying. Okay, here's a woman said that how she prepared for marriage. Like, what did she have to do to become ready to become a wife? I thought this was pretty good, so we're going to watch it and respond to it.
Here's some things that I did to prepare for marriage. The first thing I did was I was honest with myself and I looked at my shortcomings. What did I do in the past and past relationships while dating that did not work or that did not get me the results that I wanted? And I started looking at the correlation between those people. Then I went and hired a relationship coach and got some therapy because I was like, hey, I'm getting the same results. I want to be married. These men ain't marrying me. What am I doing wrong? I was the common denominator of all of my situations, right? So that's one thing. You have to take personal accountability. What am I doing to attract the people that I don't want? I'm not getting the results that I want. Once I went through that process and I healed and I went through therapy, I did a lot of self-work on myself to make myself better. Then I started looking at healthy character traits that I wanted out of men. Of course, you want him to be attractive, but when you lead with attraction only and you miss character, you miss honesty, you miss loyalty. Yes, men can be loyal, not all men cheat. If you miss integrity, does he keep his word? If you miss being a man of God, then you're going to have a hard time. Y'all, marriage is hard. And if you're just going to get married to anybody, then don't do it. Like, don't just get married to anybody just to say you married. I also started enjoying my single life. I started being way more selective with my dates, my time, my energy. I started living my life, traveling, saving money, getting my credit together. I bought a house. I was living my best life. Just because you're not in a relationship or you're not married does not mean that you should stop living. And I also got my relationship with God so much better. Here's the thing that people don't want to do. When you have a relationship with God, it convicts you to not do certain things and not live a certain way. But when you do that and you start living a different way, you start attracting different experiences, different people that are higher vibrational. They be up here. A lot of the stuff in the world, like doing what you want to do, drinking, smoking, teach their own. But you attract certain people on that level. You can't attract a high level person if you're doing low level stuff. Again, that's between you and God. And then once I started working on myself and looking at, I want a man like this. What type of woman does that attract? What type of woman do I have to be to have that type of man? And I just started working on myself. And again, it wasn't changing. I didn't get any surgeries. I didn't dress any different. I just started loving on myself, caring about myself, setting my standards, changing how I moved, changing what I entertained, and really just being a high value woman, but in the most beautiful way. Once I did all that, I ran into my husband. And I dated smart. I closed those legs. And I was married a few months later. So everybody's story is not.
It's so funny to me, and this is, I gotta address it. So many women want to be a 304 when they're younger, and then when they're looking for their husband, they want to act like they're a virgin. I think it's so retarded. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. Oh my God. Oh yeah, I closed my legs. I made him wait. But when I was younger, I was letting people hit it for free and for fun, and just because I wanted to try something out. This is a huge issue in our community. Women think you need to live your life, live your life, live your life. One of the best ways to be chosen as a wife is a woman who was never promiscuous. Not a woman who was once a 304 and now she's not anymore. I think so many women go down that path. Like, okay, being a 304 is for your 20s, but in your 30s, you got to get serious and close your legs. Keep your legs closed from the jump. If I have a daughter, I'm going to tell her, look, if you have a Ferrari when you're 20 years old, don't let no goofy idiot test drive it, okay? Only let a man who is capable of actually not only providing for that car, it could keep up with the maintenance of that car, right? And could take good care of that car. So many women, what they do is they take the Ferrari and let any idiot on the street who wants to drive a Ferrari take it for a test drive. And they feel good because they got someone driving them. I don't think this is a good idea. And then when the car got mad miles on it, now I got mad wear and tear on it. Now you try to be selective on who test drives the car. I think it's so silly that women do this. We gotta stop it. We gotta stop it. Gotta come to an end with it. I think it's a bad idea. Okay, here's a woman that describes how she met her husband. I thought it was a pretty good story. Let's watch it and respond to it.
This is so crazy. The story is really, really wild, and it's all God ordained. I had recently broke up with my ex and moved back home with my mom, and I started working at a doctor's office. This doctor's office was 40 minutes away from where I lived in Florida. So from Hollywood to Coral Springs, literally like 40 minutes with traffic. I was there probably like 2 months before his mom and his dad came in for an appointment. They came in for an appointment and they saw me and they're like, who's that? Where's she from? Is she married? And everyone was like, ask her. We don't know. She just got here. She's new. I'm thinking they just want to be introduced. So I say, hey, I'm new here. Rachel, nice to meet you. His mom goes, are you married? I have a son and he'll be perfect for you. It was crazy for me. So I just continued working. I did the room. I did everything that I needed to do. And then by that time, their appointment was finished. His mom comes out and she's like, where's she at? Where's she at? I need to talk to her. I'm in the back by my desk and I'm like, let me just write my number down. Let me just write my number down. This is different, but I'm gonna do it. Ended up writing my number down, and I also wrote my Instagram down and gave it to her because I'm like, this is the first time that this has happened, and it's pretty weird because, just a number, no name, no face, I don't know. So he ended up DMing me after that and it said, hey, I know that you already met my parents in person, so I figured I would introduce myself to you. But y'all, it's a backstory to that backstory. Like it's very much detailed. There's so much more information to how we met and why we met and how God did it. It's just so crazy. This is so crazy.
So, here's a woman who's very happy with her experience, because when you marry somebody, you don't just marry them, you marry their parents. So the fact that his parents, which to me sounds like great parents, met her and felt like you're a good choice for our son, it tells me so much about who their son possibly is. The fact that there was a whole family involved in choosing their wife and she was accepted by the family, that's a great start, right? She automatically has good in-laws because the good in-laws are the one that set it up. So in a way, this was an arranged marriage, but it was arranged in such a way where the parents found the wife, and then the son made the introduction, and clear she went for it. Now, what did she do to get to this point? Well, one, someone said in the comments, step number 1, get a job in the doctor's office. Okay, that might be a place, right? Networking, right? Be in a place where you can network, you can be seen by people that might be valuable, not even just your husband, maybe your husband or your future husband's parents. That's a great idea. 2, already be the woman that's desirable to the eye, right? In your character, how you behave, how you carry yourself. The fact that the mother approved of this, to me, says volumes, like what a woman should be, right? The fact that his mom approved for it, it speaks volumes about her character, right? And she seems like a sweet, honest girl. I don't know anything about her, but the fact that she said she thanks God for it, come on now. So I would love to have a similar experience to this. And I would love for my son or my daughter to have an experience like this, where I meet their future husband, meet their future wife, and I'm the one being involved in it. I think this is exactly how people should do marriages, and a lot of people don't. They do all types of chaos. Okay, here's another person that said why she decided to get married, how it worked out for her. I think it's very interesting, but let's see what she has to say and we'll respond to it.
So somebody asked why we decided to get married, and I kind of just wanted to talk about that a little bit. So the first thing I want to preface with is that we did not actually make the decision to get married solely predicated on feelings, because we're both adults and we know, of course we love each other, but also there are a lot of things that can happen in life. And we talked about, debt, we talked about finances, we talked about, health care, we talked about kids, all of these things that can come up at any time. So yeah, and obviously some of those things can also lead to divorce, so that was very important to kind of flush out, you can't control everything, but also you can plan and control some things. So I know a lot of people like to think, marriage is just a piece of paper, but practically speaking, legally being married does kind of affect some things. Some for the better, some for the worse, but for us, we thought about healthcare decisions, right? Like if something were to happen to either of us, 1, what would we want to do? And 2, having the authority to do that was very important for either of us. So that was one of the decisions that went into, or one of the factors that went into our decision to be married. Now, the other thing is that kids, right? So 1, we didn't move in together until we were engaged, because I just was not moving in with someone that I wasn't engaged to. And then 2, kids as well. I've never been on birth control, and I'm not planning on getting on it. So I told him I'm not having kids with someone that I'm not married to. And then the last thing was really just combining finances. So we have very similar financial goals, and us being married, we would just meet them a lot faster. Now, obviously that's a risk, right? Because if you don't have a prenup in place, if you don't have something in place to protect your money and your assets, you could be screwed, either person. But even in terms of owning a property, legally, things are just easier when you're married. So neither of us wanted to be in a situation where one of us is on the deed and the other person is not, and stuff like that. So for us, it's just more security for both of us to be married and both of us be on documents for certain things. There are other things that we have separate, and then there are things that we got together when we got married. Like we got life insurance, because a lot of these things are cheaper to get when you're younger, obviously. So we got life insurance, we got critical illness insurance, and just other things that we have. So yeah, those are the main reasons that we decided to be married. Now, obviously, marriage is very subjective, so the reasons that we got married versus your grandma versus your mom versus your aunt, they're all going to be very different, because people get married for different reasons. So somebody asked why we decided
Here's a beautiful and a practical woman. I pray my wife is very much like that. Like, she's just thoughtful. She can think. She's rational. Rational. She's logical. This is impressive because she's actually very attractive. And she's like, look, I'm not gonna get on birth control. I'm not gonna move. I'm not gonna move in with you unless we're engaged. You know, I want kids. Like the way she thought of through all this. This is how you want your wife to talk about you behind your back when you're not around. You could be proud of this. You could be proud of this. But so many women think, oh, my man, he gonna do all this, he gonna do that, he gonna be this, he gonna be that. She's focused on her mindset and how she's gonna be thinking as a wife. What's the reasons to be married? You know, she's purposeful. I mean, I have nothing to say, but I'm just thoroughly impressed. Like, women, act like her, okay? Act like her. Okay, here's a woman that said how she went from single to being married within 6 months, and now this is 6 years later. So let's listen to her story and we'll respond to it.
So how I went from single for 6 years to married in 6 months. Number one is I let go of the one doctrine. Yeah, y'all, your girl was in deception. Okay, I thought my ex was going to be the one, and God said, and I had all these signs, all these dreams. But when I finally let go of that and I said, you know what, if he doesn't want me, Lord, rise up another. That was when I was able to be accelerated in marriage. The second thing is I actively position myself in the dating market, not passively. I think for a lot of us women, we think just existing means we're on the dating market. We don't have any strategy. We're not talking to men. We think if we just exist, then someone's going to come and rescue us. But I had strategy. I intentionally talked to men. I got on a dating app, and that's where I met my husband. But I wasn't just waiting in my room and saying I'm on the dating market, even though I wasn't. And the last thing that I did was that I mastered femininity, godly femininity. So I took the time to really understand my identity as a daughter of the Most High God, to increase my value, to understand my purpose, to even work on my presentation, how I interacted with men. All these things, I made sure that I really mastered it in my single season. So when I met my husband, he identified me. So how I went from single.
Damn, she got cut off short, but man, very, very impressive stuff. This is an attractive woman. And the best point that she made was she wasn't passively on the dating market. So many women think they could sit back and find a man. Oh, to be feminine is to let the world happen to you. Let the world approach you and chase you. No, she's like, I was active. I was involved. I was engaged. This makes sense. This makes a lot of sense. Bro, this is practical information from women who are married, who are attractive, to women who aren't. There's so many women who aren't married that think a husband's just going to fall in their lap. I meet so many women like that. I know a girl, I work at a gym. You guys may know this. I know a girl, she has a crush at a guy at our gym, right? And I remember I was talking to her. I was like, yo, how come you don't got a... Because she's like 40 years old. She got no man. I'm like, how come you don't got no man? I'm a nice guy at the gym, by the way. I don't be pushing this like podcast bro stuff at the gym. I'm just myself, right? Like, you know, I do this kind of content, but I have a purpose beyond that, right? Anyway, we'll get to that. But the whole point of the story was she had a crush on a guy at the gym, right? And I was like, oh, why don't you go talk to him? And she was like, well, why don't he go and talk to me? What do you mean, why don't he go talk to you? He don't know you got a crush on him. A woman will sit around desiring a man, and she'll do absolutely nothing because she believes, and it's just the most dumbest doctrine of all, that a masculine man must approach a woman. It has to happen that way. Let me tell you something. Nobody's coming to save you, especially after the age 35. It's going to be harder. I don't know what to say. I know women, y'all want to feel like you're still valuable. I get it. But ain't nobody running behind no woman over the age 35. We're not chasing after women like that. You have to understand, a man of value doesn't chase after an older woman. You just don't. Respectfully. And I know this is hard to accept, but you accepted a lie, and that you made that way too easy to accept. You made a lie way too easy to accept. This is the truth. Take it from married women here. Do you see any patterns in what's going on here? One, a lot of women turn to God. Two, this girl said she mastered femininity. Mastered it. That's actually a great objective for a lot of women. Master femininity is going to help you get married. A lot of y'all are too masculine. Y'all want to control a man. You don't want a man to lead. Nobody wants to be married to a masculine woman for the most part, right? You might have regular guys who might be, they had a domineering mother, so they want their wife to be like their mother. Okay, but a lot of men like that, unless you're okay with walking all over a guy, that might not be the guy you enjoy being with. But so if you're masculine and you want a masculine man, you have to master femininity. A great, great, great objective for a woman I think more women should focus on. Anyway, here's a girl who says she manifested her man. I don't believe in manifestation. It's fine that people use that term. You could use whatever term you want, but I don't believe we can manifest. But she talks about kind of the mindset that she had going into becoming a wife and finding a husband. So let's listen to what she has to say and we'll respond to it.
Manifested my husband. I manifested my husband. I wrote down this prayer, and almost a year to date, my husband and I, who we've now been married for 5 years, we're engaged. I literally wrote, August 11, 2017, I will have a tall, fit, and kind and handsome husband who loves and reveres the Lord. He will be faithful to his word and commitment to me. He will be my best friend, and I, along with God, of course, will be his center. He will be head of this household, and I will submit to his authority under God. He won't get tired of me. We won't argue. Our voices will not be raised at one another. We will have the approval and support of both sides of the family. There will be no issues of infertility, mental stability, infidelity, or financial stability. God will provide and guide. Our life will be full of joy of the Lord, and we will live in abundance on earth and in heaven. Amen. Yeah, so for all the girlies that were asking me what I prayed, that's it. Make sure that you write down everything you want, and your man, be specific, because God will give you exactly what you ask for. And if you don't ask for enough, he's going to give you what you ask for, and wait for you to ask for some more. So good luck to you, girlies.
I don't believe in this. I don't believe that write everything you want and God's just going to give it to you. So many people believe God is like some magic genie in the sky. You ask for what you want, he'll give everything to you. That's not how it works. It's not how it works. That's why a lot of people would say, if you tell God your plans, he'll laugh. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people think they could just control how this works. God's going to send, if he's going to send somebody for you, when he believes it's time, when you're ready for a husband. That's just how it works, right? So the best thing you could do is just position yourself in a place where you're mastering femininity. I respect that she knows what she wants in a man, but you have to understand what that man wants in a woman. Too many women are focused on what they get from a relationship and not what their husband gets. You have to think about what the man gets too, not just what you want. What he wants matters too. Okay, there's another woman talking about how she attracted the man of her dreams. Let's listen to what she got to say and we'll respond to it.
How I attracted the man of my dreams. Hello, my name is Carla, and restoring healthy mindsets is my thing. I'm going to show you guys my secret. I've shared it before in a previous video, but it's been a while. My secret of my list of threes. What does this mean? Before you go out into the dating world, before you even think of dating, you need to set a standard. And I'm going to break it down for you. First list. What are the 3 characteristics that you need to be satisfied in a relationship? Characteristics meaning inner character. For me personally, it was provider mentality, loyalty, and a strong mind. I needed these characteristics because I knew that those were going to be the ones that I found the most attractive personality-wise. Second list, 3 physical characteristics, aka height, hair color, anything that has to do with the outer appearance. What are the 3 things that you need? Not 10, not 8, 3. We need to be real here. For me, for example, I don't like guys with chicken legs, so I knew that my man had to have big legs, and he does. He needed to be taller than me. My husband is 6'3", and he needed to have a good smile, and he does have a good smile. Now, last list is one of the most important ones, if not the most important one out of those 2. Your 3 non-negotiables. Non-negotiables are things that you hold dear to, that no one in this world can ever convince you of otherwise. That if he is completely perfect from the outside and has very good qualities from the inside, if he has this one thing, it's just a no-go for you. For me personally, it was no addiction, no corn, and no kids. Those were my non-negotiables. And believe me, I stuck to my...
I would have a lot of problems with what she's saying here. Like, shout out to her. I'm glad she got married. But if a man would compile a list like this, he won't say a woman who's chubby. This is a chubby girl here. And I guess she don't want a man with skinny legs because it'll make her feel bigger than what she really is. I get that. But clearly she didn't describe her man as fit because he's probably not fit. He's probably overweight, and so they could be overweight together. He's 6'3" and overweight. But if you're worried about a man's legs, it's so interesting to me. Women think like, oh, if your legs are thick, you're healthy or something. No, I mean, I guess you prefer that. I understand that you prefer that, but to me, that preference has to be a reflection on you. Maybe you don't want to look like you're so overweight compared to your man, but to me, that's a you problem. Again, a good man doesn't come in the size and the shape and the form you want it to come into. Too many people have too many restrictions. She said her list of threes. So apparently she has 9 things she wants. And I'm curious, in what world, other than the world that she found her husband, which, by the way, he probably is not a top high-value man. He's probably a tall man that struggles with women. If I had to guess, I don't know. But it's from what I can see. But she has 9 things she wants from a man. I doubt she's 9 things a man wants from a woman. Generally, okay, especially a high value man. She's also said the provider mindset. I don't know what that means, but if he's providing for her, she's definitely providing too. I doubt she's a stay-at-home wife. If she is, then I guess she hit the genetic lottery. But the way she described a man, she wants him to have thick legs. I just think it's like, what? Like, it's just that's so weird. That is so weird to me, right? Oh, I don't want him to have chicken legs. Like, do you know how many athletes have chicken legs? You know how many boxers have quote-unquote chicken legs? Like, people think every man can have tree trunks as legs. That's not an achievable thing for every man, right? Just like the whole height thing. I want a man to be 6'3". Very few men are 6'3". So, I don't know. It's just weird to me listening to some women talk about what they want, what they desire in marriages. To me, be careful, women. If you act like that woman, chances are you're going to severely reduce the number of men that you would desire, 1. And 2, just remember this. If you have a list of 9 things you want from him, ask yourself this question. That guy you just described, does he want you? Okay? And she happened to get, I guess, what she said, and her list was kind of strange, but I don't think she could get married more than once. She better stick with him. I don't think she could get married more than once with that type of attitude. Anyway, here's a girl said, do this before she got married. Let's see what she says.
Me and my fiance are getting married in September, and I want to give one tip on one thing that will help you before you get married. And yeah, especially for the Christian community, if you're getting married, please listen. Before I let you know what the tip is, if you do want to, or you feel led, or you really want to give to us for our wedding registry, just click the link in the bio and click the Linktree link, and our registry should be on there. Anything helps. I want to say thank you to all the people who have bought something off of our registry. It's been 4 people who bought something so far. Thank you, because so I appreciate everything that people have given to us. We really appreciate it. Our marriage is, you should wait to move in together until the last minute, okay? I think you should, like, for example, me and my fiance, we live in 2 different areas, okay? We live far away from each other, but not super duper far, but far enough. But
this girl is I should have really screened this video. She's way too annoying. We're just gonna skip her. We're going to the last video I had in mind. And this is about a woman who said God sent her a husband and she fumbled him. And I think this is important because we're going to cap off this entire video. We got to figure out what not to do as well. Not just what to do, but what not to do. Let's listen to her story and we're going to respond to it.
Hey guys, so I want to quickly give you a story time, okay? About when I wanted to know from God if this guy was my husband or not, because I was just like getting tired and the dating process was long. So I'll have to give you a rundown on how I met and everything. So I met this guy off Instagram. He DM'd me, and the first thing he DM'd me is, you're going to be my wife. Now I've kept all the receipts because I keep everything. Anyone that's been following me for a long time will know I'm a receipt girl. But yeah, so that was what happened. He said, you're going to be my wife. And I was just thinking, here we go, like, or whatever. Anyways, that conversation ended up with us speaking for about 3 months. I didn't see him physically for 3 months. Imagine, crazy, innit? I'm crazy. Didn't see him for 3 months but throughout that whole time, I was like wearing him down. I was like, listen, like, why are you not seeing me? I thought he must have a girlfriend or something. So I'm just like, if you're single, why are you not seeing me? He was just like, I'll see you soon. So it just started to feel like a catfish, but it wasn't a catfish because we would FaceTime. We would like FaceTime all the time. We would text, like we would, all sorts. Yeah? And then I got really irritated. I went out with my girls and I got really, really irritated. And I was just like, if you don't see me today, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. This is the 3rd month, guys. I was literally like, yeah, like, and yeah, he called me an Uber down to his house. Guys, when I saw him, I was like, this is my husband. This is my husband. Okay, this is what I thought anyway. Because you know how girls, we live in this fairy tale do-daddy land, okay? So yeah, like he got me Uber, flew me down, saw him, I was like, this is my husband. Now guys, this guy is and was still at the time a Christian man. Would not listen. This guy, there's no fail. He was always going to church. Every Sunday he was at church. Guys, we had an on and off, well, he calls it a relationship, on and off relationship for about 4 to 5 years. Literally, I went through the motions of blocking him, unblocking him, blocking him, unblocking. It was absolutely insane. I literally grew up on the back of this man. Like, he just... Guys, I don't know how I'm going to do this story time because it's crazy. So, anyways, I met him. We did not... Even though I met him, went to his house. It was like nearly midnight. Went to his house and, yeah, we just spoke all night, listened to music. Never slept with each other. And I purposely didn't want to do anything with him and he didn't want to do anything with me because obviously I didn't want to sleep with anyone until I got married, and he understood that, and he didn't want to sleep with anyone.
Okay, this girl's chaotic, and to me, praise the man that walked away from this because this is just too much. I don't want to sleep with anyone until I get married. You're not a virgin. You're not a virgin. This is this double standard of I'm gonna give my good years away to the streets, and then when I'm left over and undesirable anymore, I'm gonna keep my legs closed and wait till marriage. Ladies, stop doing this. This is not cool. This is not what men want when they say, "Oh, my wife is gonna be." You guys are pretending to be non-promiscuous women. That does not work. Every time I hear this, I think to myself, "Who are you fooling?" Look, if I meet a girl and she had a promiscuous past and she wants me to get over it, okay, I'm up to that, but don't start with me. Don't learn for your lesson now with me. You know what I'm saying? No, you better be, because I want to feel special. I'm not going to feel special if you made some other dude smash you the first night. He didn't wait, but then I got to wait 3, 4, 5 months. I don't feel like you like me more than you like him. And this is why being a promiscuous girl is a bad idea altogether, because ultimately your husband wants to feel special to you. He can't feel special to you if you were a thought in your younger years, in your prime years, and now when you're washed up, you're trying to be a good girl. I'm not going to feel special. I'm going to feel like I'm the fool that married you. So, you know, I guess you could say you fumbled him, but the situation is crazy. He talked to you for 3 months online without meeting. I can't talk to a girl for 3 weeks online without meeting. I'm not going to waste my time. I don't even know if you're real. I'm not going to FaceTime you and talk. He's like a woman to me. I'm not going to, man, we don't just sit around, just talk. We got to get to work. If me and another man are going to start a business together, we're not going to speak online for 3 months about starting a business. If we're going to start a business, we're going to start a business. We're going to hash out some of the information, but we're going to get to work. We're going to get to work. We can't let a whole quarter of the year go by without figuring out what we selling, what we serving, what we doing. Okay, so that dude clearly lacks ambition in my personal opinion. I don't know. 3 to 5 years of y'all being on and off. Yeah, that sounds crazy to me. I don't even want to hear the rest of the story. But if you want to know what not to do in a relationship, don't do this. Don't be the girl who thinks she's so smart, she's so clever, she can finesse this, finesse that. It's not going to work, okay? Listen to the women earlier on in this video. They tell you exactly what you need to do. Men, by the way, if you have a hard time attracting women, go download my free ebook, Be Attractive and Shut Up. A lot of times the issue for men is that we talk too much. We talk our way out of seduction. We talk our way out of desire. It's not going to work, okay? You got to be really skilled with your words if you're going to use them. And a lot of men just aren't. So the best thing to do is just be attractive to the person, look physically good, so a woman is like drooling in desire for you, and keep your mouth shut. Download the free ebook. It's a great guide to you guys, and it's free. It's free. Anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel blowing up. I appreciate you guys. Check out some of my other videos, and I'll see y'all over there.